Good morning students, welcome to SLPS online studies. Today we are going to discuss our class 8th chapter number 8, that is cell, its structure and function. We had already picked this part first. In part first you had already known about that who discovered the cell and what some of the internal structure and functions of the cell. So take review of this one. See student, this one is our discovery of cell. We all know about it that Robert Hooke had observed the cell. After we get to know about that who was the first person to observe living cell, that was Antoine Leeuwenhoek. Then we know about some microscope, that how we have seen that smallest micro cells and other things. After this, we know about the cell theory, that who discovered the cell theory. In that context, we know about that Matthias Schleiden, Swan and Virchow. Three of the German scientists are there who discover our cell theory. After we know about that what this cell theory says to us, so we know about that this cell theory tells about that all living things are made up of one or more cells. We know about that the cells are the basic structural and functional unit of life. And the third one is cells come only from their existing cells. These are our cell theory. After that we know about that cell diversity. In the cell diversity part, we know about that how the cells are differ in size, how the cells are differ in shape, and how the cells are differ in their internal organization. In that part, we had already discussed about cell size. Cell size means we know about that some of the cells are there. These are of small size and some of the are biggest size, some of the longest size. Here in the picture we have seen smallest bacterium cells, then after giraffe nerve cells, then after big cells of ostrich. Yes, so we are discussing about our cell size. So we have seen in the variation of cell size is also there. In cell shapes is also differ from each other. Most of the cells are roughly cuboidal, spherical and smooth. Okay. After that we know about that cell diversity or internal organization. In that part we know about that nucleus is present, some organelles are present, eukaryotes and prokaryotes type of cells. In that part we know about that eukaryotes and prokaryote cells, that what are they, the difference between C by the diagrammatical representation we know about it. After the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, then we know about the structure of cells. These are the organelles of the cells, or structure and functions of the organelles will be discussed here. In that part we had discussed about cell membrane, cell wall, nucleus, nuclear and its structures, structure of nucleus by diagrammatic representation, chromosomes and genes, protoplasm. See students, in our nucleus we can say that one of the most important part is there of genes. What these chromosomes and genes do? Chromosomes are thread-like structures which are present in the nucleus. We all know about it. See in this structure, this one is our whole structure of nucleus. So in this structure you have seen some chromatin material or weaker thread-like structure is there in the nucleoplasm. So what are they? So these are our chromosomes, and on chromosomes some genes are present which carry the informations from one generation to other generation. So genes are the responsible for our inheritance. After that we know about protoplasm, nucleus and the cytoplasm together form a protoplasm. Yes, now students, today we are going to discuss about the organelles of the cell. In organelles of the cell, we had first of all discussed our mitochondria. See student, mitochondria, the other name of mitochondria, we say that the powerhouse of the cell. Why we are saying the powerhouse of the cell? We are saying it powerhouse of the cell because it generates some of the energy. Okay, it generates some of the energy in our cell. It provides it, they oxidize their food and provide some energy. Okay, so by giving the energy, we can say that it is a powerhouse of the cell. See the structure of the mitochondria. In structure form, we can say that it is a folded membrane within an outer membrane. We can say that it is a double membrane. Okay, so mitochondria are a small rod-like structure and they have a double membrane. Okay, we can say that they have a double membrane. The folds of the inner membrane, see students, here in the diagram you have seen some of the folds and some of the irrigation, some outer folds are there. So what these outer folds are known as? These outer folds are known as cristae. What? Cristae. Okay, now so what we had studied in our structure of mitochondria, we have studied in our structure of mitochondria that mitochondria has a double membrane, and they in mitochondria there are some finger like projections are there inside it, that they are known as our cristae. Okay, now let's see what are the function. What is the function of mitochondria? So what is the function of mitochondria? It converts energy, it gives us energy, or we can say it oxidize the food and give energy. So in that form it converts energy stored in food into usable energy for work. This is called our cellular respiration, because in our cellular respiration also we have need some of the energy for doing our process or for doing our practices, okay, for their oxidization of food. So what is the main function of mitochondria? The main function of mitochondria is that they oxidize food to provide energy. Okay, so they are called the powerhouse of the cell. Now the next one is our vacuole. Vacuoles are also sac-like structure. It is also sac-like structure which is present in plant cell as well as in animal cell also. But in plant cells we have seen that the plant cells have large vacuoles as compared to animal cells. Okay, so let's see structure. When we are talking about the structure of a vacuole, this is a sac of fluid surrounded by a membrane, very large in plants. So what is in our structure? See, in our structure, when we are talking about the plant cell and animal cell, in both type of cells the vacuoles are present. But in animal cells, vacuoles is in small in size, but in plant cells that is big in size. Okay, so what is the function of vacuole there? The function of vacuole is that they used for temporary storage of waste, nutrients and water. It means that they store all food, water, waste, nutrients, whatever there is in the cell. So their main function is to store all these important or necessary elements or materials in them. Understand? So we understand it very carefully that vacuoles are a sac-like structure. We can say that is very large in plant cell, and when we know about what is the function, so its main function is to store food, waste and nutrients, whatever there is in cell. Okay, so this one is our structure of vacuole. Now the next part is plastid. See student, what we know about plastid? In plant cells some organelles are there. They are known as plastids. Okay, so what are plastids? In plant cells some organelles are present. They are called plastids. Where it is present? It is present in cytoplasm. So what we are saying in the case of plastid, what is the definition of plastid? So we say that the small organelles which is present in cytoplasm, they are of different colors and types. That is called our plastids. Okay, so there are in that plast. So students understand what is plastids. In our cytoplasm, some organelles are present, so they are of different colors and sizes. So types also, they are known as our plastid. Yes students, so when we see the plastids, so there are the three types of plastids are there. What are the three types of plastids in plant cells are there? Chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Yes, we all know about chloroplast, that these plants can do their photosynthesis process in the presence of chlorophyll. Okay, so in our plants, one green colored plastids are there. In our plant cell, green color plastid cells are there. Green color plastids are there. They are called our chloroplast. So what they color? They have contain some green color pigment in them. So that is called our chlorophyll. And so what is the function of that chlorophyll? We all know about it, that the green color, it gives a green color to the plant. And second useful part is there, that it help in photosynthesis also. Okay, now the next one type is chromoplast. Chromoplast main function is, what we know about the chromoplast? What is the function? It synthesize and store pigments. Okay, so the second type of plastid is to synthesize and store pigments. Now the next is leucoplast. What is nucleoplast? It stores food such as starch, protein and lipids. So leucoplast is one of that type of structure organelles in which they store their food, starch and proteins and lipids in them. So students, what we had discussed in plastids? We had discussed in plastid that in our cytoplasm small organelles are present. They are called our plastids. And when we are talking about the plastids, we all know about that plastids are of three types. Okay, so first one is our chloroplast, second is chromoplast, and the third one is leucoplast. Yes, we all know that in chloroplast pigment, plastid, that one pigment is present, that is called chlorophyll, and that chlorophyll is responsible for the green color of plant, plus it take part in photosynthesis also. Okay, chromoplast, it synthesize and store pigments, and leucoplast, it store food as such as in the form of starch, protein and lipid. Okay students, now let's see chloroplast. We had studied about chloroplast. These are our structure and these are the functions of chloroplast. Now this is the Golgi bodies. Golgi body is also one of the organelles which is present in cytoplasm. Okay, so let's see what is there. In structure we have seen, what about the structure? Stacked flat sacs is there. See, when we are talking about the Golgi body or Golgi complex, we have seen in our cytoplasm of a cell some stacked flat sacs are there. So these are our Golgi apparatus. What is the function of Golgi apparatus? It receives protein. It receives protein from RER, means rough endoplasmic reticulum. See, when we are talking about endoplasmic reticulum, we have seen that two types of endoplasmic reticulum is there: smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. So what is the function of Golgi apparatus? It receives protein from rough endoplasmic reticulum and distributes them to other organelles all out of the cell. So its main function is to give protein to each and every part of the cell or each and every organelles of the cell. So main function, when we are know about what are the keywords of their function? It receiving, processing, packing and shipping. See, when we are talking about the keywords, that what is the functions, what is the keywords of functions? So we say that it is receiving, processing, packing and shipping. Okay, so this one is our Golgi apparatus. Now our next organelle is endoplasmic reticulum. What is endoplasmic reticulum, students? Yes, now we know about that, what are endoplasmic reticulum. When we are talking about its structure, so we know structure, a system of membranous tubules and sacs are present. When we know about the endoplasmic reticulum in a cell, so we see that a system of membranous tubules are present. System of membranous tubules are present means that in endoplasmic reticulums, one membrane is there, tubules are there, sacs are there. So these are our endoplasmic reticulum. They are special in size. Okay. Now when we are talking about the function, that what is the main function of endoplasmic reticulum? So let's see, intercellular highway, a path along with molecules move from one part of the cell to another. What is the main function of this? Intercellular highway. Why we are saying that intercellular highway? We all know that is a highway whenever the vehicles are moving here and there continuously. So in that part also, in that context, in the same part, when we are talking about the cell, a path along which molecules, this is the one path along by which all the molecules move from one part to another part of the cell, or we can say that it helps in transport substances within the cell. Okay, so We know about the structure and function of the cell. Now, how many types of endoplasmic reticulum are there? So in that part, first part is rough endoplasmic reticulum and the second part is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now, what about the endoplasmic reticulum? When we know about the endoplasmic reticulum, students, so what is the structure of endoplasmic reticulum? Let's see. It is rough from outside. A rough is there, rough endoplasmic. It means that something rough is there. So, what is this? Let's see. Rough endoplasmic reticulum, RER. Prominent in cells that make large amount of proteins to be exported from the cell or inserted into the cell membrane. So, when we are talking about the endoplasmic reticulum, so what is the main function of endoplasmic reticulum? We see that it helps in transport of the substances. So, what this rough endoplasmic reticulum do? This is also present in the cell and make a large amount of protein which is exported to the cell. Okay. So, and the next one is that covered the ribosomes also. You know, ribosomes that make protein. So, it covered with ribosomes and it covered with ribosomes. This one is our smooth endoplasmic reticulum. See students, in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum involves in the synthesis of lipids and breakdown of toxic substances. Understand students what this rough endoplasmic reticulum do? This endoplasmic reticulum make large amount of protein. Okay, and so to be expected in the cell. And the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, what they do, what its function? So its function is to involved in the synthesis of lipids, and breakdown of toxic substances. Okay, and not covered with ribosomes. Okay, so that is a basic difference between both rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now about ribosomes. Student, we all know about ribosomes, that what are the function? Its function is that make proteins. Okay, now let's see, there is some by picture they want to give you some information. The structure, it consists of two sulfonide made of we can say sorry students, what are the students, we can say that what are ribosomes? It's in structure. When we are talking about the structure, it consists of two subunits. It consists of two subunits made of protein and RNA. See students, in your picture also you have seen this one. So ribosomes consist of two main cells or two subunits, or that is made up of protein and RNA. What is the function? Its function is to location of protein synthesis. Okay, location of protein synthesis. Now lysosome. See student, lysosome is all very dangerous to cell also. Why? We are saying it's suicidal bag. Why we are saying it's suicidal bag? Because whenever sometime what happened, it digests themselves. It means that it digests themselves, it eat themselves for cleaning the cell. Let's see what is the structure first of all. So lysosome, when we are talking about the lysosome structure, are spherical organelles that contain or hydrolytic enzymes within single membrane. See, what are the structure? What is the structure of lysosome? The structure of lysosome is there that it is a single membrane animal or organelles, and it contains some hydrolytic enzymes in them. What is the function of this one? We all know, breakdowns food particles, invading objects, or worn out the cell parts. Okay. Now about the centrosome. See student, what is centrosome? Centrosome main function is to regulate cell division. So this one is our present of centrosome. Let's see by the diagram. Now cilia or flagella. Cilia or flagella, we all know that it is a hair-like organelles that extend from the surface of the cell. Okay, so when they are present in large numbers on a cell, so they are called cilia. Again, understand students, cilia and flagella. What is the structure? Hair-like projections are there, and hair-like organelles that extend from the surface of the cell. So when they are present in large number on the cell, they are called cilia, and when they are less numerous or and longer, then they are known as flagella. Both organelles are composed of 9 pairs of microtubules arranged around a central pair. Okay, so this one is our cilia and flagella. And what is the function? Its main function is to cell motility. Cell motility means what we are saying. So we have seen that cells in the in many unicellular animals, they have cells have some projections on their outer surface, so they help in their movement. Okay, so in the case of paramecium, in the case of euglena, we have seen this type of cilia and flagella. Now, what is the basic difference between plant cell and animal cell? Yes, see students, plant cell and animal cell. The first point is plant cells have cell wall. We all know, and animal cell do not have a cell wall. Okay. Second is they contain chloroplast. Yes, they do not contain chloroplast. They do not have centriole. They have centriole. These are the vacuoles in large in size, and in the center of the cell, vacuole is big, and in the vacuole is small in size. Nucleus is present in the side of the plant cell. Nucleus is present in the center of a animal cell. Okay. Now see by the diagrammatical representation. See students, this one is our vacuole, then cell membrane is there, then nucleolus, nuclear membrane, DNA material, cytoplasm and mitochondrium. Let's see here. This one is a basic difference between both of them. See students, here you have seen that in plant cell, big vacuole is there. Big vacuole is there, we know. And in animal cell, the vacuole is very small in size. Okay. Then talking about the nucleus. So in our plant cell, we have seen at one side, and in the animal cell, we see it in the center of a cell. In both of them, cytoplasm are present. In both of them, cell membrane is there. But in plant cell, one more membrane is there overall in them on cell membrane. Okay, and mitochondria is present there because of ATP. Okay, or because of energy. Thank you. Good morning students. Welcome to SRPS online studies. Yes, now today we are going to discuss our growth and division in our cell chapter. Okay students, we all know about cell division. Cell, we all know that it is a structural and functional unit of life, and division means divide. So by this term cell division, what we know? We know that in this case some cells are divided, or some cells has to be separated, has to be differentiated, or we can say that by this cell we have formed some new cells. Let's see what is this. See students, when we know about the types of cell division, we see that the two types of cell divisions are there, mitosis and meiosis. By this process of mitosis and meiosis, the cells are doing their cell division. So what is about the mitosis? Let's see. When body cells undergo a cell division, and it happened in the somatic cells. Okay, that is mitosis. And in meiosis, when sex cells undergo a cell division. That is a basic difference between both of mitosis and meiosis. In mitosis, body cells has to be cell divided, or we can say it has to be separate, has to be differentiated, or in the meiosis case, sex cell undergo the cell division. And these are the examples, gametes of eggs, sperms. These are the examples of meiosis. Okay. Now let's see cell division. Yes, first of all, see students, when a cell is formed, it is so small. Okay, we all know after digesting food, it grows in size. we all know that everything needed some energy to grow up. So this cell also needed some energy, and so when we after taking food, so after digesting food, it grows in size. However, its growth is limited. Okay, so after reaching a certain critical size, it divides to form two cells. So what is the definition we are giving to the cell division? A cell division is a process by which a cell divides into two new cells. Okay, so why do cells need to divide? Living things need to grow by producing more cells. Okay, because every living thing has to be grown up their species as by producing their more cells, not because each cell increases in size. Okay, and the repair of damaged tissue. Because of this, it is a compulsory to do the cell division. Now, process. Many organisms, especially unicellular organisms, reproduce by means of cell division, okay, called asexual division, such as bacteria. We can say so many examples have they given. So process in which we have seen that in unicellular organisms reproduce by means of cell division. So that type of reproduction is called our asexual reproduction, because in that part no cells are included in it. Now see this since the whole end of the chapter. See students, when we have seen this cell division in the case of amoeba also. So what this amoeba had to do, the amoeba has to be splitting into the two parts, and after that two parts, after some time that two new cells are formed. So millions of blood cells die and are they replaced by the other one in each second. Okay, the skin cells also dividing so many times. Nerve cells of the brain cannot be replaced once they die. Understand students, don't think that everything is replaced, but the nerve cells of the brain that cannot be replaced once they die. If they replace, they have to be die. So this is why the body can heal injuries in all parts of the body except to the nervous system. Okay students, so this one is the whole content of cell division chapter. Okay, cell chapter. So we had covered in this cell chapter all the main terms. We had discussed all the main organelles. We had discussed about their structure and function. We know about cell divisions also. We know about the basic difference between plants and animals. We know about that who discovered cell and what is the cell theory. Okay students, this one is our whole chapter. Thank you.